Wow, wow. All right. Um, these are crazy times, huh? The pandemic and whatnot. Oof. I've been sick these past few days. I thought I had COVID, but I think I may just have had a bronchitis and that's it, which is good because I don't know if I can handle COVID at the moment. But stay safe, everybody. Stay safe. This COVID thing is very vicious. It doesn't discriminate. So I'm here to talk to you guys about the latest episode of The Walking Dead, season 10, episode 14, titled Look at the Flowers. Now, heads up, there are spoilers in this review, just like my review of episodes that have already aired or about to air, because this one's going to air tomorrow night. So if you don't want spoilers, look away, go watch the episode tomorrow night and then you come back and watch this review to check my assessment of it. Um, but if you don't mind spoilers, welcome. All right, so first up, um, the title. It does remind you of something, right? It does remind you of the episode where I think it was season. Oh, I forgot what season it was, but it was years ago. Where Carol killed a little girl. Remember? Carol's like, "Look at the yellow flowers." She told the girl to keep looking at the yellow flowers, and then she shot her. This was like years ago. So I don't know if the title is reminiscent of that, um, but it definitely has to do with, or the episode has to do a lot with Carol. But before I get to that, um, let's talk a bit about Eugene, Yumiko, and Ezekiel. So these guys, in this episode, decide to go on a journey to find Stephanie. The lady that Eugene has been in contact with through CB radio. Um, and throughout the journey, they notice that many of the walkers or zombies were, um, I guess you could say, they were manipulated or they were structured to mimic as if the walkers are like playing poker, as if one of the walkers is a cop giving ticket to a driver. So when Ezekiel was laughing in this episode, I was laughing too. I was like, that is so creative. Well, at the same time, you wonder, like, man, somebody must have a lot of time in their hands to be placing these walkers in such an animatronic kind of way. Um, but brilliant, brilliant, uh, comical. Why didn't they ever think of that? You know, it's a good way to pass the time, I suppose. Um, but also Ezekiel's sick. I don't know why Ezekiel decides to go on this journey. I really don't know. I I I'm like, fool, you're sick, man. Just take it easy on yourself. Don't be like going on a mission anymore. Um, I know Jerry is more than capable to take care of people, but Ezekiel, you don't. People need you too. So I don't know. I feel like he will become a liability, obviously, because his sickness is really getting to him. I feel bad for his horse though. Um, so I really don't know why Ezekiel, because at one point Ezekiel's like, I shouldn't have come, and you know what? I was like, yes, you shouldn't have come. There's no reason why you had to come. So Yumiko and Eugene, just by them two, would be sufficient enough. So the journey does end with them encountering somebody who's very perky. She's like, "Oh my god, you guys! I hope that's not Stephanie, because that girl looks more like a valley girl. I want Stephanie to be somebody, um, that's on the same level of as Eugene. Same level of sophistication. That could be a love interest to Eugene. Somebody like a valley girl. Eugene would not find that attractive. Oh my god, you guys! um, okay, so the next thing, uh, with the aftermath. We're dealing with the aftermath of Alpha's death, and so for Beta, we see him grieving, um, and apparently he puts on this live concert vinyl record, and that's his way of, and he, he's kind of he's a bit of a dick too, like to his followers. You know what I'm saying? Uh, I don't know if Alpha would be like telling the guy, it's like, hey, go approach him, so then he can get bit in the face. I don't know if Alpha would like stab somebody in the back, so then the walker could get distracted and eat him. Beta is a bit of a dick. Uh, he has no loyalty but to himself and Alpha. So I feel bad for those guys that were following Beta, because Beta could sacrifice him, any of them, at any given moment, and he wouldn't care less. Um, but yeah, this his grieving process, I guess, involves uh, a shitty concert music, which ends with him finally putting a knife through Alpha's head. Um, the other aftermath is regarding Carol. Now, I'm a little surprised that the writers put emphasis on um, the ghost of Alpha haunting Carol in this episode. I'm surprised because the guy who killed Alpha is not Carol. It's Negan. So I figured, if anybody whose conscience would be bothered by the person he just killed, it'd be Negan, right? But I guess um, the writers want to give a closure to the Carol versus Alpha situation, even though we never get to see Carol actually kill Alpha. It's actually Negan who did it. Um, I don't know what to make of this whole thing. About Alpha, Ghost Alpha messing with Carol's head, trying to get her get bitten by walkers a couple times. I don't see the maybe the purpose is like, her telling Carol's like, okay, you won, happy now. What? Your son's still dead. Not gonna bring him back. So maybe that's the idea of this whole Ghost Alpha messing with Carol's head. Um, but I gotta give credit where credit is due. Actress Samantha Morton, who plays Alpha, I'm gonna miss her. I'm gonna miss her very much. I'm gonna miss her very much. She was so damn good in this role. She was so perfect in this role. If you don't know her, she's a two-time Oscar nominee. She was also in Minority Report with Tom Cruise and Steven Spielberg. Fantastic, fantastic actress. So, um, even though we don't get to see Carol versus Alpha, this episode, with the haunting of Ghost Alpha, kind of puts a closure to that. Um, and also by the end of Beta's grieving process, you can tell that Beta has become resolute in his purpose to exact revenge. Um, Carol is such a complicated character. I mean, Negan calls her a certified badass. She kind of is. But I can see why Daryl finds Carol very frustrating at times because just like right now, um, Carol didn't let Daryl in on the plan. You know, it's like so. There's this other plot of Daryl and Negan where Daryl's like trying to wrap his head around the fact that Negan had killed Alpha. Like, really? No, you're lying. It can't be. But that's just how Carol does her way. Sometimes she lets you in on what she's about to do. Sometimes she's very stealthy about it. And I think for Daryl though, it has come to the point where he's like, well, that's just her style. I can't be angry at her for not let not informing me about Negan's being a spy and all. Speaking of whom, um, there's a moment when uh, a few whisperers show up and find Daryl and Negan, and the whisperer's like, "Oh my God, you're the one who killed Alpha. We shall kneel to the new Alpha." And Negan killed him. Oh, so sweet, so sweet. It's like, really? I mean, you would think that the new Alpha would be Beta, but these guys, people who are in a cult, they're just so dumb. They're brainwashed. So they're like, oh, I guess whoever kills our leader is the new leader, instead of like the second right hand man, Beta, who's still around. It's so dumb. Um, but Negan at one point tells Daryl, you know, I gotta admit, when I was with Alpha and the Whispers, I kind of felt like I belong, like I'm part of something again, like I mattered again. Um, so and Negan said, "Don't kill those who don't deserve to die," because that's his rule. The other rule is don't kill children. So when he said that, the first thought that came to mind was like, okay, so Abraham Ford and Glenn deserve to die when Negan, batted them. So I don't get that reasoning. Um, but maybe at that moment, he did think that they did deserve to die. Um, so I think Negan really badly now wants to be part of the good guys. Um, whether or not the rest of the gang, Daryl's people and Carol's people, will allow him to be part of them, you know, roaming around, helping out, and it's remained to be seen. Especially after this whole stunt, of because most of them did not know yet, right? They don't know yet that he was playing along, that he was infiltrating the Whispers, that it was just an act. So, but it's clear that Negan really has a soft spot for the Alexandrians and the Hilltops and everybody. And I can't believe I find myself saying this, but I think Negan, now that um, Michonne is out of the picture, it's gonna be Carol, Daryl, and Negan who are the three leaders on this show. So it should be interesting. Um, I have to note to you though that next week is episode 15, and that would be the pretty much the last episode of this season 10. Now there's an episode 16, but they haven't finished post production work on it because coronavirus forced people to, you know, go home. So the people who were working on post production on episode 16 were not able to finish the episode. So next week's episode will be the last one, and then the season finale will be airing sometime later this year. Hopefully, when this pandemic is has blown over. It's a very unique situation, but that's how it's gonna play out, unfortunately. Um, but yeah, we got next week's episode to anticipate, the last one. Let me know what your theories will be, because it seems that uh, Beta now is hell bent on vengeance, and he's very, very pissed off. Oh my god, I cannot wait to see him charging against the Alexandrians, him and the rest of the Whispers. Um, for Alpha, for Alpha. All right, you guys. I I have shortness of breath. Like I said, I have bronchitis, so I'm gonna take some rest again. Thank you so much for tuning in. As always, subscribe to my channel, press that like button, ring that bell, and if you can help support this channel, please do so at patreon.com/ramascreen. That's patreon.com/ramascreen. Let's rock this.